everyone to this call. This is another edition of the SQA Marshal monthly webinar. While we are waiting for other QA engineers to join us in the course of this program, we will, however, be getting started in 2 minutes time. All right, you are welcome to this monthly edition of the SQA Marshal Consult webinar. So today, we are privileged to have an industry leader among us to take us through some of the most important topics in this industry. Before I go into introducing our guest speaker for this month, I'm going to show us briefly what we do at SQA Marshal Consult. Then we'll get started properly. So this session today, this program today is 2 sessions. The first session is about the introduction and presentation of the program. And then the second session is about contributions, questions, and answers. Yeah, so we can reach out to our friends who is yet to be on this call to join in as the program is already on. All right. So at SQA Marshal Consult, what we do, we are a software testing company. All right. And what we do is simple. Though a registered company in Nigeria, and we intend to ensure that we become a testing consultancy firm, household name in Nigeria and beyond. And the way we intend to do that actually is to deliver expert software testing services, training services, consultancy, equipping professionals, organizations with industry best practices. And of course, we are doing that through our core values of quality delivery, trust, intentionality, and empathy. And we serve undergraduates, graduate, job seekers, professionals who want to come into tech industry and come to software testing, and of course, corporate organizations who are seeking to train their in-house staff, QA team, and outsourcing of their QA project, of their testing project, and as well as a training for quality assurance engineer intending to get certified in ISTQB, whether at the foundational level or at the advanced level stages. All right, so without further ado, I'll be going to our program for today, and we're having the person of Ikena Sylvester Okafor. And Ikena Sylvester Okafor is a technically experienced leader, professional and innovative senior software test engineer with years of broad experience, delivering major test solutions for global programs and projects focusing on quality assurance, test management, application integration, and release management of client, server, mobile, and web applications. And of course, he is also involved in, he currently works at Fido Microcredit in Ghana, and that microcredit company is a leading fintech company in Sub-Saharan Africa, and especially in Ghana. So as the community lead of the Ministry of Testing Ghana, he mentors aspiring talents and QA professionals, helping them transit into tech. He also hosts an consult industry experts on. Oh, okay. Can you hear me better? Okay, let me put it this way. Can you hear me better now? Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. So moving ahead, Ikena Sylvester is also known as the as the test test guy. All right, and that's a show that he anchors, right, and it's an educative and interactive session to empower and share more insight and industry experiences to build tech careers. And he's also a speaker at tech events, hands-on mentor, and someone who is passionate about building trust between products and users, thinking outside the box, fostering resilience in software and people. All right. So, what should you expect in today's program? Of course, I just introduced our guest speaker, and he's an industry leader, and he's joining us directly from Ghana today. And of course, we'll be having top insights and on how to stay relevant in the industry. And this one of the key things, the major thing we are here for today. All right. You should know how to stay relevant in the industry, because the industry is seriously evolving and not static. So you have to catch up with the latest trend and the demand of the market. Right. So, and another thing you should be expecting is what you need to do. What are the new
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello. If you can hear me, please.
Can anybody
can
hear
you
me?
just top up? Give me a thumb up so that I can.
Yes, sir.
Oh, good stuff. That's fine.
If you can hear me, can
I
you?
was trying to set his audio
If you
challenges,
can
but
hear
then
me, can you just top
we
up?
will start very shortly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Ayo.
All right. Can you hear me very well? Hello.
Hey, thank you very much. I want to thank you guys. Yeah, are you okay if I share my screen and also turn on my video so you can see? Okay. So I would want to turn on my video. Ayo, is that okay if I share my screen too?
Yeah, very, very
Yeah,
okay.
very, very
You
okay.
can share your screen.
Okay, I'm doing that now. I believe you can see me.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, very well.
We can actually see.
We can actually see.
This one, so let me show you. Good stuff. So today we're going to talk about when somebody who is a man. Or the man in the background. When someone is a man, okay. So hi, Ayo has given us a quick intro about myself. My name is Ikena, and of course I'm a Nigerian that's actually moved into Ghana, schooled here, work here, and I'm married here as well. So basically, I've been here for a while, and of course, I've also been in the industry for a while. And I'm privileged to be speaking to you about software testing, the future of work in software testing, about and also stay relevant in the testing industry. So, first off, I want to thank AY, I call him AY, and the SQA Marshal. I want to thank him and his team for hosting such event and for bringing me on board to speak to people like great minds like you with regards to the future of work in software testing and how to stay relevant in the testing industry. And for those that don't know me, you can look me up on LinkedIn. We can Sylvester Cap on LinkedIn. And like you said rightfully, I'm the community manager or lead for Ministry of Testing Ghana, where we lead over hundreds of testers, and we try to encourage, get them a voice, let them be a voice in where they work, and also how they can make impact in their spheres of work. And we also share opportunities and recommend people when we have job opportunities that comes our way in our industry. So going forward, let's talk about the future of work in software testing. The question becomes, there is no future if there is no past and a present. What has software evolved to? What is software? What is future when there is no past? We can have a future if we want to talk about the past and the present. And the present is what validates what we think the future would look like. So now the past, previously in those days, there used to be people who just build applications and to their own discretion, they feel is okay, and then they put it out there. The concept of software testing, it wasn't something that was so known when the history of software development began. People were more concerned about, oh, we have a product, and people are using it. Okay, then an issue breaks, they'll find a way to go and fix it, and also push it without proper, you know, impact and test the risks that evolves around the software. However, over the time, there has been an evolution. In our present time now, how is the future of work when it comes to software testing? We have a place where there's a cycle, people go out, build application, and then they push it to the software testers to validate and verify, and then push it out there. So that's the thing we had was transition from no testing at all to validation and verification. So people thought that was software testing to validate and verify. And if you ask people, oh, what is software testing? To verify, to validate that software testing is. But there is more to what we see. So how, and let's talk about what then is software testing. And I believe that one has to understand the rudiments, the fundamentals, the core of software testing before we can talk about the future of software testing. Now, what is testing or what is software testing? What are the core fundamentals of software testing? I'm going to ask you this question. I want this to be an interactive class and I want to go to answer as well. I don't know, maybe I've not seen the person, but I want to ask, can there be a child that does not understand the alphabet in English or any language? Let's say, can there be a child that does not understand the alphabet, the normal A to Z, but this child can write a complete sentence? Is there anybody like that? I don't know. Is there any time, or do you think there is a way a child would not understand how to read the A, B, C, and the child knows how to write a sentence, like to write, not to read, like to write a sentence or even to read a sentence? Is it possible? I want to make it interactive so I can see anybody here with me. Is it possible to have a child who can read or understand the fundamentals of alphabets A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and the child doesn't know that, and then the child can either write a sentence or make a statement? Absolutely, thank you, Ralph. That is not possible. So we cannot see how possible it is for a child to start writing without understanding the rudiments. So today, I'm going to talk about the rudiment of software testing, the core fundamentals of software testing. When we talk about software testing, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. When we talk about software testing, what then is software testing? There has been so many misconceptions of software testing. They'll tell you, oh, we just verify and validate. We just have a list of documents we follow. We click on this and that is it now. So thank you, SQA Marshal. Software testing, what is it? Software testing is an art. Okay, for you to test a software is an art. I want you, if you're a tester here, I want you to embrace yourself and tell yourself that you are the real deal. People, we've not learned how to appreciate ourselves, and then wait for people to define us, for them to tell us what they think we are, for them to talk about how relevant we are, for them to give us that goes to say, hey, you guys are relevant in this field, you should stop allowing people to talk about your relevance, because you are very important as a software tester or as a QA engineer. You are very important in this field. As much as software lifecycle is important, or it is in a whole, software testers are always important people. So whatever you do, just know that you are an important person, that you are needed in a team, you are needed in whatever place you find yourself. Why am I saying this? Because one thing you do is, as a software tester, software testing as a whole is an act. What is that act? The act of experimenting with the product. So I give you a product. You would need to experiment that product to understand what goes into that product, to understand the layers, what goes into, what are the thought processes, what are the design patterns, what has gone through it, what are the levels of things that has been done in that product. When you understand it, you explore the product, you begin to use it. Oh, explore what happens if I do this, what this, that. At that time, you don't have the test case, you don't have all those things. That's just you explore. So software testing is not basically about test cases or stuff or you've written. It's about your ability to explore the product in a way that users can always use them. I give an instance. The way you use a bank app is different from the way a 10-year-old child uses a bank app. You know that it is right for you to click the button once and then you make payment. What if a 10-year-old child mistakenly takes the mom's phone and opens the mom's bank app, and the bank app, perhaps the mother is on the bank app page, and the mother leaves the phone to go and do something? Now this 10-year-old child holds the phone and start pressing the submit button or the pay button like 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What happens when a child does that? Because a mother or a person who is an adult would not do the same for a bank app. You know that when you click on the pay, you wait for it to go through. Now a child clicks on the pay and start pressing different buttons on the app. You don't pay attention, because via virtue of our test scripts or test cases, we write that a user should click on this once. And that is it. So when you click on it once, okay, we get a result. But what if a user clicks on it 5 times? What result do we get? So you see, at that time, you've not explored the app. You are only working in a way that you feel like, oh, somebody is supposed to do this way. So you assume that they'll do the particular way of order, not knowing that that is not the way software is being handled in a real life project. So you explore this application. You try different things that they may not even think about. Perhaps when they are building it, they never thought that this could happen, that could happen. Yours is to explore. You explore the app. You take your time, don't base it on test cases. You explore the app, and I can tell you, most of the best testing doesn't or was never done having a test case or having a test script. You know why? Because your test case may limit you to an extent where you can do, because you're very particular happy path. But when you explore, you are not just looking at the happy path. You're looking at what can go south, what can go bad. And then by the time you've explored all this, you have an experience. So one of the ways that you know a very great test engineer or a tester is that when I wake you up, and thank God the SQA Marshal, he just shared his website. Now, a good tester will be so keen with the website that he has experimented and explored the website, such that at any point in time, when you call him on phone and say, hey, I'm having a trouble registering for this seminar or this event with SQA Marshal, but I'm in this page, what do you think I should do? Because the tester has experienced and explored this particular product, the tester would know at what point what to do at a particular page. So when you call him, oh, SQA Marshal or AY, I'm trying to register, but I can't see this thing. Because he has used it, he knows what happens in that page on the UI. He knows what you should see on the UI. That is the experience. So you have an experience of a thing. So testers are not just there to write, because to be honest, the front end guys may not even have an experience of what the API looks like. But what they want to do is just call the API and then pass it to their own code, and that is that for them. But as a tester, you don't just call, you experience the API. You understand what the API talks about. You understand what response it gets. The front end don't even care about the response. He doesn't care about. He only cares about the integration. what should I write and how do I integrate this? That is all. But you as a tester, you are more than enough. You experiment with the API, you experiment the UI. What happens if there's a change in the response time? What happens if there's a change in the data? What if this particular column takes only alphabets? What if I put in numbers or alphanumerics or stuff? So what happens? That is experiencing. You're experimenting, you're exploring, and it builds your experience. So others are limited in one thing. I have worked in a place in my early days, my career, that I was doing everything. I was a software tester. I was the database person. I was writing stored procedures. I was doing cron job testing. I was doing API testing. I was doing web testing. I was doing mobile testing. And all these things impacted my experience. So when I go to talk or to mentor or to teach people, I come in a full understanding of what the flows are. I can tell you how the APIs are being written. I can tell you what talks about or how it's been learned. I can tell that this API is taking an asynchronous approach. I can tell that this one is taking a synchronous approach because I was part of them. I experimented, I explored, I experienced it. I know what I'm talking about. So when I talk and I'm giving a report to the stakeholders, they listen to me because of the impact I have in the community, impact I have in the project, impact I have in the company. So you experiment, you explore, you experience. This holistically is what testing is all about. So let's not be killed with, oh, I have verified that it's working. No, the verification is a part of the whole thing. When you have a test case, it's a part of the full flow. And that is why I have issues sometimes, because where I am the manager, but then I don't want to call myself a manager, because when I call myself a manager, it means like I'm a bit out of touch with what is happening. So what happens is that I try to tell when I have a stakeholders meeting, I tell them, you can't give the software guys 2 weeks to develop something and give me 3 days to go live. I need at least 1 week to run a full test. Why? Because in 1 week I will try what I can to experiment and explore. That way the experience I have about the app is more understandable and is more genuine, such that when I'm having a discussion with the developers, I know what I'm talking about. We're together. So basically, that is testing. It is not just a one pattern of verifying or validating. It is more than that. You experiment, you explore, you experience. And that is why software testers are very, very important and integral in the software testing or the software development cycle. Okay, why is it important? Because, for instance, I'm going to ask a question. Daniel, if you wake up today and you see, let's say you have 100,000 in your bank account, and you wake up today and somebody have added 2 zeros, or let's say somebody have added 1 zero in your account, I believe that will make it 1 million, right? Yeah, 1 million. So if you wake up and you see 1 million in your account, and you go to the bank and withdraw the money will pay to you. Is that correct? That's not correct. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's say I have 200,000 naira in my account, and I don't know what happened. And then I just woke up and I feel like instead of 200,000, there's 2 million in my account. When I go to the ATM and enter my PIN and make a withdrawal, or let me say I had 2K, 2,000 naira in my account. I woke up, I saw 20K in my account. You know, people mistakenly send money to people, and then they see the money and they go. Will they be able to withdraw the money when they go to the ATM? Yes or no? Good stuff, Ralph. So when I mistakenly send money to you, Ralph, and you go to the ATM is liable to give you what is in your account. Not whether it's true or not. Not whether it was fraudulent or not. As long as my account is saying I have 20,000 naira, ATM pay me that 20,000 to pay me. The ATM doesn't care about the legalities. It doesn't care about what is going on. Because I have that amount in my account, it pays me. And I will tell you something. Do you know that banks pay a lot of money for their data than the actual money you put in your bank? The banks pay a lot of money to maintain and secure their data and what is being processed in the data than the money they even pay in the ATMs. Because they know that when there's this, or when there's no integrity in the data, what that means that when somebody is able to hack into my bank account and add up to my bank account, when I go to the ATM will pay me based on the data on the system, not based on what they think or what is fraudulent or what is legal. So that way, when you are a tester, And for me that work in the fintech industrial space, we are very meticulous about the money movement and what happens, the disbursements, the settlements, and the rest of them. Why? Because the moment that happens, you lose quality, you lose trust. It will cost you a lot. So why is it important for us to go into software testing? It is because we are very integral when it comes to trust. None of you here would ever use a bank app that always crashes. Nobody would ever use, for instance, last few years ago, WhatsApp had a downtime. WhatsApp had a downtime, and all of a sudden, people began to switch into Telegram. In fact, I believe, that was one of the biggest times Telegram had their sales jump up because WhatsApp was down for a few minutes. It tells you that customers don't even have that time to waste. In a few minutes, people have to find alternative. It will cost you people losing you. When you don't take your testing seriously, when products are bad, it will cost them money. It will cost them the trust for their customers. Customers will lose trust for you. They will lose you'll lose even the trust to use your product. I don't want, if bank apps are always crashing, I would never use that bank. And I'll tell you something. I wanted to open an account with a bank in Ghana here, and I was like, oh, this bank, they said this, I want to open an account. And I was speaking to a friend of a colleague of mine in the office, and the guy said to me, don't open an account with the bank. I'm like, why? He said every weekend their bank app is down. What? I can walk to the ATM because I'm where I'm working, I can just drive through. But weekends, I want to be at home. I want to make seamless transaction from the comfort of my home. I don't need to leave. Sometimes I don't feel like leaving my house. I don't feel like driving out. I just want to be home. And now I am at home and I need to do transactions with this stuff. And you're telling me that the bank app every weekend is down? It means now the customers are even angry. They are losing trust for the bank. They are not satisfied as users because the time they want to do something, you don't give them that experience to do it. So when you don't have a proper test process, or when there's no proper testing, you end up losing quality, which is very important. It will cost you money. You will lose trust for customers, and the users will not be satisfied. That's one thing about that. In the principles, how can we help, or how does that happen? One, testing principles. One of them is you have to be involved early. Don't let them get you products before or when they are done. Oh, we are done, so you can test. This is a document. No, I don't want to test what you gave me to test. I want to test what I know was implemented. They may not tell you everything they know about the implementation. They will tell you what they think you need to know. But some parts which you omit from telling me are very important for my test execution. So you need to involve early. If you are building a product, what are you building? Involve yourself, join them, know what they're doing. That way, it opens up your heart to know what's going on. Peer testing, which is not much to talk about, we don't speak about that a lot. You need to learn to test as a pair. When you test alone, you're good, you're fine, but you're limited. So when you have a friend of like, oh, we are testing this product, and your pair, you both have different perspective, different eyesight. Be able to test effectively because what am I saying? Because you know what you're testing. You have different ideologies. You test where you test right. People get to see how you're testing. They get to see your loopholes. When you miss this, the other person captures it. Fair testing. Again, after that, defect reporting. How do you report? How do you communicate? Now, let me tell you, do you know that in as much as you talk, even writing is a communication? There's written communication. How you communicate to people via writing is important. How do you report issues you find, your defects, your remarks you find? Reporting them is also important. It helps you to get that done. Then the basic thing, of course, when you involve early, you have to prepare your test plan, your cases, your execution, and then how do you report to stakeholders? They are also important here. And then again, we talk about the functional type, the testing, the level of testing or the type of testing, the functional and non-functional type of it. Functional, talk about the functionalities, the integration and the rest of them, the regression and stuff. These are functional testing. The spokes, sanity test to ensure things are working well. They are all functional. Now, people don't pay attention to the non-functional one. The durability, the security, the performance. I remember last year we had an issue in Fido Because if you know what's in Uganda, we realize that it takes them at least 1 minute 30 seconds to log into the app. And it was a concern. Yes, the app is working quite all right, but then it takes them time to log in. So that means that the people who don't have patience to go through the app and wait for 1 minute 30 seconds. It's a lot of time. So we need to now do an improvement in our performance test. We have to run a performance test to improve the process and the flow. So it may look it may look like it's nothing, but non-functional testing is very important because now you give people the chance to operate fast enough with your product while delivering quality. They're able to use that the durability, the speed, the duration, the longevity. All these are part of non-functional and they're very important. Are we okay? Okay. So the next thing is now, how can I stay relevant? That's actually what I want to talk about more. I want to speak more on the relevance. The relevance. How can we stay relevant in this industry? Now, tell me something. How do I stay relevant? And I wrote on my LinkedIn post, I say most of us not we are not uncertain of ourselves. Okay, I don't want you to feel like you're not good. I don't want you to feel like you're not better. I don't want you to feel like you're not smart enough. I want you to know that you're complete in what you do. I want you to know that you're a great person. The only problem is that there are certain limitations that you have to deal with. One of them is critical thinking, resilience. How do you need to sharpen your mind? I told you software. You see now, I've been able to break down what software testing is to you. If you don't think critically, you cannot be a tester. If you've not learned the way to sharpen your mind by thinking what ifs, because what they tell us what they want us to hear. This is what you should do this way, right? They tell us what they want us to do this way. But then, what if? What if this doesn't happen? What if this is not done this way? What if? So you need to sharpen your mind, critically think, be asking questions. Every good tester asks questions. There is no good tester that is on its own. In fact, you cannot be isolated and be a great tester. To be a great tester is to actually ask the relevant question. No question is stupid because sometimes our customers can be stupid. So you need to ask questions just like them. You need to ask questions like what they are doing because you don't even know who may use your application, on whose hands will it fall into. You ask questions. You cannot assume. It is wrong for testers to assume. I thought, no, you don't think. One time when I was still, my younger time in the career, I was working on that. And then now I have people under me, and I was asking somebody, so how about this product? And she said, I said, I'm not paying you to feel. You don't have to feel anything. I don't pay you to feel. You don't feel as a tester. You need to know, why is this happening? You ask those questions. No, I feel it. You don't feel it. You must verify, you must certify, you must assess it to be sure. And that can come by asking questions. You ask them, that is how you stay relevant. You know why? When people ask questions, others feel intimidated. When you ask questions, it is how to elevate you. When you're always asking questions, there's somebody that actually looking at you and saying, this guy that always asks questions is a very great guy. Because it's only those who are smart and wants to be relevant that ask the right question. If you don't ask question, everything goes okay. You go for a meeting. Why do people go for meetings? Oh, what do you have to say? They've said it all. I mean, you hear that every time. Oh, what will you say? They've said it all. I think I agree with her. Though you're not. I mean, there are many things you can think about. There are many things, but you always say when they ask you guys questions in your group or your team, what do you have to say? As for me, I think I'll go with whatever thing they say. They say, "Oh, now, do you think that you'll be seen as someone of relevance? Do you think in your team, in your community, you'll be seen as someone of relevance? Because all you do is to conform to what people think and assume that whatever thing they say goes, everything goes. No, it doesn't work that way. You must sharpen your thinking, your mind, your critical thinking, how you do things, how you communicate, how you analyze requirements. If you go for team estimation meetings with the PMs and they say, "Oh, this is happened," you have to think, okay, but what did you think about this scenario? I go for meetings and they're talking about, "Oh, I'm like, hey, hold on. Our PM is a white woman, and she's giving, oh, listen, I'm like, hold on, have you thought about this audience? Have you done this? Because I think you're being stereotyped in this part. I think you're becoming more addicted to, or more fixated on this thing. What if you break it down, look at these other options? What happens here? That is where you analyze, you ask questions, you make inputs. That way they see how relevant you are in your team and in the industry. And again, when there are issues, some people shy away. This one, I don't think I can try it. Let me call someone who will do it for me. You've not even learned how to troubleshoot issues or even problem solving. Anytime there's a problem for you to do, you've not ever sat down to say, let me challenge this problem. No, I think I'll call AY to help me solve it, since AY has been doing it for a long time, so he knows. What if AY was not there? What if Michael was not there? What if James was not there? What if Brown was not there? What if Kwame was not there? Who can you problem? Can you solve a problem? Can you take it and say, today I'm going to solve this. I'm going to handle this issue coming up. Oh, you must be resilient. You need to see, testing needs resilience because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with systems. Do you know that even bad testing can cause loss of lives? If things are not being tested well, people can lose their lives. So you must learn to deal with these things. You must learn to take up problem solving techniques. Try to learn how to solve problems. There are many techniques. You ask questions, you take up responsibilities, you analyze things, you say, what? I'm going to solve this. I may not get it the first time, but I will always try and challenge myself to get better. Ambiguity and uncertainty, you're dealing with them. I'm uncertain of how this thing will turn out for. Why are you uncertain when you have mates you can ask questions from, when you can research about the thing? Many times we are just, most of us, like I said, it's not because we're not good, it's because we've not had the ability to challenge such things. And so we are limited. Okay, we are limited because we've not challenged such things. We've not learned how to deal with uncertainty. If there's uncertainty, then there is a problem. You need to pay attention to it. That is how you go about it. It is unfair for me if I tell you all my years I've never had failure. There is no one who will be in the QA field for at least 3 years or 4 years that have not found a place where he messed up somewhere, sometime in the industry, or somewhere in their career path. You will always mess up, but to not stay there, you need to bounce back. Oh, this thing went, oh, there's issue here, we didn't pay attention. Then you feel down. Then you ask, am I sure I'm in the right path? Am I sure I'll be a good? Of course, you are in the right path. My dear, you will always have that feeling, but it will always come to you. But your mind, the power of the mind, you must be resilient. Say, what? I can do this. It's about the mind. Your mind has or must be made up. You make a mistake, fine, learn from it. What did I do? In fact, in my team, we have what call the QA retrospective. After every release, I kid not, after every release, there's a retrospective. What is that? What didn't go well? Let's talk. What mistake did you make in this release? What did you go well? What did you test for? What did you pay attention to? That is how you are resilient. You learn from your mistakes. You learn what didn't go well. That way, it helps you to build for the next sprint. Every sprint have how their requirements, they have what product they're coming up, how they want to test it or whatever. There are different ways they want to test it. But don't ever be there thinking that you're not good enough or you can become better. You can. All you need to is to be critically in tune and to resilient. Because it takes resilience to be a tester. It is not like only you're doing the work of both the API, front end, everything, database, project, you're there in everything. It takes resilience to do that. And if you're not resilient, you can't be a proper QA engineer. Are we good? The next one is seeing the forest for what it is. Understanding the software development lifecycle, the SDLC. You have to open your mind to see bigger things. Don't just be sticking. I'm just a tester. Let me remember. No, you can't just be a tester, my dear. There is more for you to know. You may not be all, but you know what happens there. Know what happens when we have a first iteration between the PMs. Know what happens when we share the PM, the product roadmap for the year. What are we doing for the first quarter? You need to know. Don't be there, whatever happens. They just bought this for me to test. No. Ask questions. So what are we having the next sprint or the next 3 months? This quarter, what am I focusing on? Understand the whatever, depending on where you work, you need to understand the methodology. Some people are doing Kanban. Okay. So people are saying, oh, I'm just doing Kanban. No, there is more to that. Your role within the team. So you have to understand what is your role. You see the bigger picture. Are you just there to only mark things and go? What is your role within even in the testing? What is your role? In the testing, you need to have a role. What are you playing there? In your absence, will it be felt that, oh, I didn't see Raf today in the test? In this project, Raf is not there. Oh, I wish Raf was in this project. What is your role? You need to leave a mark in your team. Be there for people, be there to assist, be there to do something. See the bigger picture. It's not always about you. You cannot be there always, but you must know the role you play in the team, such that when you're not there, you impact people. You make people feel your presence. You know them that, listen, I miss working with his mom, his house. I miss working with Ralph. I miss working with Daniel. This is what it talks about. When you see the bigger picture, you're always there. How do you collaborate with people? How do you come? Oh, there's an issue. You need to have a quick call. Like, hey, AY, there's an issue. Can I have a quick call with you on this? Yeah. Then you collaborate with them. When I was testing this, I saw this. I don't know if you've experienced that, but I think if you do it this way, it can help us, rock to come up with you. That is how you communicate to them. You collaborate with your team. You collaborate with your developers, the business, and the other stakeholders. Then, of course, the impact of that. At the end, you see the impact. Be proud of every release you have because we are part of it. Let me tell you something. I don't know if it has ever happened to any of you. In my early time, they tell you, we want to thank you guys. The release was great. In fact, we have more tractions. We want to thank the PM, then they call the name, and also all the dev guys that has worked on it. They've done a very great job. They've talk about the mobile guys and the back end engineers. They've done very great, and the DevOps guys, they're very good. We appreciate you and the stuff. You would never hear talk about, oh, we want to thank the testers for what they've done. We want to talk about how Tesla. Nobody talks about the testers, and you're all there like, share a new flow for this product. So as they work with it, so nobody even recognizes how they work for this project. Oh man, just give thanks to DMs and this thing. All my work, I even made my report self. Nobody even read them. And you just did it. Learn to appreciate yourself. Learn to appreciate. Don't let that define you. Don't let that define you. And you know what I did as an engineer? I mean, as the manager, yeah, Marshall. I went there and I said, listen, you would do. I told you my situation. I said, sir, with all due respect, what impact has the testing done? Oh, they are very good. They've done well. They know the testing because are doing well. And I said to him, and I told him, sir, you would agree with me that we are doing a great job. So going forward, you have to always commend us for every release. I told him. So today, when they're giving credit, you will see those that tested, their name appears there. I don't need my name to appear. I've gotten to a point in my life in this career, by grace of God, that I'm a manager. So all the accolades, I've had them. I've had those thank you done well. When you want to applaud me with my raise or whatever, that's my applaud. That's how you applaud me with my raise. But at this juncture, the younger ones who have done the anything, the test, appreciate them. Let them feel relevant. Make them feel important because they are the ones doing the work. Okay, so it's important to know that is part of what we do. I think I have limited time because they're showing the link. Again, communication. Many of us are not bad, but it's just that we've not learned how to communicate, when to communicate, how to communicate, what to communicate. Sometimes you look at the people and know when to communicate. Somebody is going through difficult time and you're shouting, Charlie, need to fix this thing. We can't go. Hey, man, come on. There are ways to communicate. Even when you write. When you write in cap locks, it means you're shouting. Sometimes when you write, people also make interpretations to that based on how you write. So you need to learn how to write politely, how to even talk politely to people in your team, outside your team. And don't always want to be the one right. Try to listen, try to understand. And I'll give you an instance. So one of the jobs I got, I got a job and then when I was working and then the man asked me, I mean the big guys when I was having my interview, they asked me, so when you come into the team, what are you gonna do? I want to hear what you can do with the team. I said to him, sir, from where I come from, I don't come into a place speaking, I come into a place listening. He moved back and said, why are you saying that? I said to him, because I cannot promise you of what I don't know. I want to listen to what they have there first. When I listen to what the team have, then I will know how best to make my contributions. If I come in, if I tell you and promise you, when I come to your team, I will set this, I will set that, I will set this, I will set that, I will do that. I'm only deceiving myself because I don't even know if the team have what this is I'm going to do. The man said to me, I have listened and I've hired so many people. This is the first time I've seen someone who is practical about their role. When you come into a place, listen. Don't always go in speaking. Don't always go and want to change things. As a tester, you must learn to listen. You must learn to actively listen to things. Don't always want to be the one taking everything does not revolve around you. There are people that have other experiences, that have other suggestions that can make it better for your work. So listen. Active listening is very important. When you listen more, you speak less. When you listen more, you know how to communicate. When you listen more, you grow your mind. Because there are many things that are being spoken in words that you can pick up to grow your team, to grow your relevance. Okay. The second thing is collaboration with your people. We spoke about that. Collaboration is important. When you don't know, ask. Don't feel so shy. Don't feel too important. Ask. Nobody knows it all. The first thing you need to know is ask. I tell my team, I would always ask you something I don't know because in that time I'm your manager. I will always ask you. One time, one of my boys was doing something with Excel, and I was like, "Oh, how did you? How did it?" He was surprised. I said, "Oh, I didn't teach me how to use it." And he was surprised. Man, I don't know everything. I don't know how you did it. Show me so I can use that for mine. I can't say, "Oh, I'm your boss." You don't know. I said, "Guy, I know something what you do, but show me how you do it." He was surprised. I said, yeah, I mean, I don't mind this. I don't mind learning because I'm not. There's nothing that says you can't learn from me. I mean, I can learn from you because I don't know it. And then again, provide constructive feedback. Don't always rub it on their faces. You, this guy, every time they always, every time, what you do? It's an environment. People are growing. Provide constructive feedback. Oh, I thought we've gone through this issue again. What's the problem? Okay, I don't have time now, but then maybe you can record a video and I will go to it again for the last time. When you have an issue, watch the video. In a way, you're not making the person look foolish, but the person will be like, "Oh, this guy don't know. Let's say I don't know, my head no, I need listening to me." Because in as much as you want to communicate, you're making like, oh, I don't have the time to always do the same thing over and over again. However, I'll prepare a video. If you don't understand the game for the last time, watch the video. So if I'm preparing a video for you because you've always not been understanding, it should tell you something that I'm not doing well, I need to pay attention more. So that way you provide it in a constructive way that leaves the person worthy, but makes you better. Okay, the relationship. Outside the test environment, after the SDLC, after the software thing, you can still have very great friends outside the work. So we are all colleagues, but then after after working hours, I can still pick up and go, hey guy, Alpha, in this outside job now, can we hang up or something? In the team, but if you're always the one who's always having issues with the team members, you cannot build relationship. It is more than just bags, it is more than just supporting. We are a family, we are people that want to build relationship outside this. Because who knows where you'll be one time and they're like, hey, I know this great guy. In fact, let me tell you, most of my great jobs I've ever had was very recommendation. People recommended me, oh, I know this guy, I know this guy. Oh, he came now, I know the guy. Then they call me, yeah, I'm there. I worked with FMB Bank in Ghana, and then it was just a recommendation. Somebody called me, hey Charlie, they need this guy, right? So I went in there. We were having interviews. They didn't ask me questions. Oh, yo, are you the guy? Are you the guy? Yeah. I'm like, oh, Charlie. So what did I say? That was how I got a job. In less than 1 day, the next day I was asked to help them start with. Wow, recommendation because of relationship is important. That is how you stay relevant. Relationship helps. And then I'll be true very soon. Saying now this I'll be very fast with this ones. Of course, wait, giving back. You need to learn to give back. Don't just always be the one consuming. I will always it's just it's me. No, don't always be the one consuming. Learn to give back by, of course, being with like what we're doing, share knowledge through blogs, articles, presentations on LinkedIn. Share. Keep writing, keep encouraging, keep mentoring people, keep learning. The second one is participating, like what I'm doing. Participate. If you're being called to speak, don't shy away. Oh, take the responsibility, go and research, do it over and over again. You get better. Contribute to open source testing tools. Try to contribute. Let me tell you something. Where you are not limited. For you to stay relevant, it's not about just in Nigeria. I'm in Ghana here. I'm in Nigerian, but I've spoken in conferences in Kenya, in Swiss, in different countries. I have spoken from here, and I've traveled. I was in Uganda last year to speak. So I've been traveling to speak to people because you are not limited by where you are, but you need to know these basic things to stay relevant. It is not your locality. It's not Nigeria. It's not about, in fact, it's not just about where you are. It's about what you need, what you have to offer. There are great ladies in Nigeria doing well. SQA Marshal is one of them, having classes for ISTQ people that want to get the best of it. He's always giving. He's always writing up stuff on his YouTube page. He's always sharing knowledge. That is relevance. So when we talk about ISTQB, the first thing that comes to mind is SQA Marshal, because he's always on there hammering on that, sharing knowledge. When we talk about the communities in Nigeria, we have the Abiola girl, Abiola Rasak, we have the Ibironke. I know them, I've worked with them before, so these are people that I know with them. I know Mary, we all have communication. They even speak for me. They speak with me. We have meetings together. I spoke with Ibironke at the Kenya event. We are together. We spoke. In fact, we've been together. We were in Ghana last 2 years together. I hosted her. So it is about community. Always be there. Always be there. Don't just be shy with. Always be there, right? And then we have mentorship. If you have the capacity, mentor someone. I just had a program before I came in here. I had a program this morning. We have women in test in Ghana, and 2 ladies I've mentored. I mean, I've mentored many ladies, but 2 of them are mentors. We are speaking, and they spoke about how I mentored them. And now one is a test manager, one is a QA engineer, and I'm mentoring them. And their managers, they are doing very well. Mentor people. At the end, it's your feel like, oh, when you watch them speak, I've actually mentored this one. These ones were the ones I was able to mentor. You are grateful for what you've impacted into their life and staying updated. Don't just be there. How we do things in 2017, that's how you know. Always things are evolving. Always know that you always get better. It's not about what you know now. Things are always evolving. Get better. Don't be stuck. Get better. Okay. And I'm just trying to rush up this thing. Again, yeah, you have to learn how to stay ahead in the team. Always embrace new technologies. There are new things coming up. Always embrace them. Learn new stuff. If you're just there and say, oh, that's all they're doing for here. No, don't say they're doing for here. Things always change. Things will always change. You know, if you use one thing always. There are many tools coming up. There are many ways of presenting things. There are many ways of doing things. Don't be there and say, oh, Mona, so that's how I make it here. No, you don't want to embrace change. You can't. You must learn to be innovative and adapt to things coming up. Many years ago, I remember then I was sitting now I really do automation. When I was sitting automation, I was like, oh, I was doing more. So I began with Java, and then I did other JavaScript, and then TypeScript. I was using Cypress, and then somebody said, oh, no, now I moved to Playwright. I was saying, oh no, I never do Playwright for now. Cypress, I don't know. But you need to adapt because things are going on. People are getting more crazy. Things you must learn to adapt to new things, be innovative, embrace new tools, learn new methodologies and approaches, think outside the box to find solutions. What works for A may not work for X or Y. You need to think of new ways to solve them. Don't always keep on doing something. Try to automate with repetitive tasks. Things that are also always the same thing over and over again. You don't feel it done over. You see, it will even be boring. Just automate it and make it easier for you to just click the button. It does. Result. Okay, that's fine. Next. Right. So it's important to pay attention and then always seek to improve and innovate your work. Don't always be there. Improve, get better, get to know things, get to improve yourself. It's very important. Get to know how you can be relevant. Get to know things and improve yourself. Finally, where I'm going to end here is this. The truth is, after we've done all these things, after you've done what I've just spoken about to stay relevant, which is great, the greatest of them all is what we are doing. Tell your story. SQA Marshal is a very great guy. I've worked with him. I've worked with Sunny. They are both of them in this call. I've worked with them before, and I've worked with them in a team, right? In the project I had, I called them in and worked together. In as much as they are good, I can't tell their stories for them. If SQA Marshal didn't begin this ISC with now pushing up on LinkedIn, nobody would know how relevant. Let me ask you a question. Would you ever have known Davido, Whiskey, Burna Boy if they never released one single song? They have to tell their story. What good is a music when nobody listens to it? So if you don't tell your story, I would assume that guy until you're able to see, nobody can tell your story more than you. They will only tell you what they think you need to know, but they will not tell you your story. They will not tell you, they can't tell you the way you need to tell it. So now, please, you have to learn to tell your story. You need to tell your story because your story is yours. No one can take it from you. Reflect on your experience and learn what have you gone through. You know, unfortunately, I see people that start 1, 2, 3, 4 on LinkedIn, right? And then start with AI stories. People are tired of AI stories. Let your story be genuine. You can use AI to modify it, but let it be genuine. Let it reflect your experience. What have you experienced in your whole years? Every week there's 1 or 2 drama. Write about it. Highlight your unique skills and contributions. I like it. Quickly, I don't know if we're okay, but I just want us to do this. If you're here, and I think it's important, can you kindly take a screenshot of these and share on LinkedIn? I want us to do something. After this meeting. I want us to have a screenshot of this particular page and then share on LinkedIn and tag me. I'll share my link, my post here. Tag me, tag SQA Marshal, tag the team. I want to connect with you. I want to appreciate. I want to also link up with you after this meeting. So take a screenshot of this, share on the screen as I'm talking, share it on the screen, and share it on LinkedIn. Okay, write a post about it and share on LinkedIn. Tell your story. That's what I'm talking about. Tell your story. Talk about what you've learned today. Talk about what we've discussed today, because this is how you stay relevant. We have platforms like LinkedIn that people always watch. Listen, people are watching. I went to a program last month, and as soon as I entered here, 3 guys met me. Oh, you're the guy. I'm like, I don't do anything to which guy. So more, I've been seeing you on LinkedIn. Now they've never loved my post. They've never liked it, but they've been seeing my post. That means people are watching. So they know me. They know me. When I go in a place, I'm not even scared. I'm scared to buy plantain and eat on the road. I'm scared to buy biscuit. I'm scared to buy things because you don't know who they watch you. Go to chop plantain. I say, oh, look at that guy who they for LinkedIn that they chop plantain for road, or they chop biscuit for road, because people are watching you. You're telling your story. You're being explored there. You can't because of how good you are. So tell your story. People are watching. People are really watching. I cannot tell everybody's story. I don't know more about Ralph. I don't know more about the rest of you. But then, if you don't tell, okay, we need to learn to tell our story. Okay, it's important for us. So we need to learn to tell our stories, right? So finally, I think that's the last part of me. So please, this is I want us to connect. If you can just say me, you can link me up on LinkedIn, say hi to me on LinkedIn, and then we can connect from there. Okay, you guys hear me now?
Very well.
Very well, we can do it.
Okay. So yes, like I was saying previously, you must learn to tell a story, and that starts now. Take a screenshot of what we just presented the last time. I'm going to go back to the slide. Take a screenshot of this and then share. Talk about what you've done. Talk about what you've learned. That way, we're able to, have that moment. Talk about your passion for software testing. There are so many guys. I can tell you, we have great guys you're better than, but then the only difference is that they always tell their stories, and you think you're not doing anything. Some of them you're very great, like you're very when it comes to parity, you're better than them. But because you know the talk, nobody even knows you exist. Nobody knows how. So how would you stay relevant if nobody hears you? Those of us who are Bible people, they'll tell you how would they hear if nobody has been spoken or nobody has been sent. And how do you say nobody has? So you need to talk. You need to talk about what you do. Like SQA Marshal, I'm telling you for a fact that when you go on LinkedIn and talk about STQB, you'll be amazed that he's part of the first top 10 you see, because he has told his story over and over again. He has shared it. He's so passionate to train people in SQP. He has been in in meetings like this, teaching and talking about how to excel in ISTQB. Why? Because he's telling his story, he's passionate about it. Connect with others. You can listen, you cannot isolate yourself. You need to learn to connect with others. What are people saying? What is going on? What is the trend? Connect with them. Hi, my name is this. I was able to watch you. I'm able to watch you. I saw you doing this. I think it's a great good stuff. Try to connect with people. Share your, even when they post, comment on their stuff or what they've posted. You get visibility, you get relevance. People get to know you. So that when you also do your own posting, they also follow and love what you do. So please, that is one of the ways. It is not about your country. You are beyond this. See, you are in a phase where you are beyond country. You are needed. As a software test engineer, you are needed. As a product engineer, we need you because you make a difference. You can tell a difference between a product that a tester tested and a product that was just pushed out there. The difference is very clear. You are needed, you are important, just like one tester and one engineer focus on one thing. As a tester, you focus on the whole system, not just one. From the inception, even down to Figma files, because you need the Figma file to do your test. So the Figma file needs to be conformed to. So even though you do Figma, you do API, you do mobile, you do web, you do database, you do everything. So you see your importance. And if you cannot share your story, that is why it looks like QA or testing is not so growing so far. I thank for these young women that are here, Ibionke, Abiola, Udeme, Mary, and the rest of them who are pushing up there. They are telling stories, and then the noise is coming up higher. And for the guys there, we have the likes of Demola, SQA Marshal, and the rest of them. Chibuzo, they are doing well, they are pushing up there, they are telling their stories. So learn to tell your stories, learn to connect, learn to share experiences, learn to contribute to meetings, learn to contribute to programs like this, and then try to volunteer to do things for people. It's not always about money. It's not always about money. Sometimes you can volunteer to do things because it is the right thing to do, and that's how you put your name there. When you talk, oh, we had this guy who was part of the community, join a community. Whether in Nigeria, whether in Ghana, join a community that will get you better, that will make you grow into it. Okay, so that is how we say it. I don't know, have you captured this image? Capture this. I want us to capture this and share on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I want to see you on LinkedIn. I want to see, I want to see the interaction on this post. I want to have that moment with you to talk, and we share ourselves and we'll share experiences and also connect together. And I was in Nigeria. I just came back from Nigeria yesterday night. I had few engagements in Nigeria. I just came back because of this. I had to come back to stay in for this. So because of you guys, and it's very important for us to have this because we want to connect, want to share, want to give back to the community, and that is all we are. We need to be relevant, and that way is by telling our stories. Yes, Muhammad, Hisham. Your hands were or you're muted if you're talking.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now.
How are you? How is it?
Very well. How are you?
Yes. Thank you. Very interesting. Because it's very interesting. Even not know anything apart from testing software testing, but sincerely this time around, very passionate, very passionate with it because I learn a lot of networking, cybersecurity, data analyst. Yes, I'm on it. Even right now, I have a course of, software development for one of our class. So what my question is, does our bank here and in Nigeria, those bank here in Nigeria, especially in Kano, are those banks aware of all these software testers? Because sincerely, I don't know it, but especially for me now, I don't have a work to do now. Seriously, I don't have a work to do, especially the time we have. we are in the economic hardship series. Seriously, Nigeria, especially Nigeria, is not working perfectly. It's not working perfectly. Seriously. My
Okay.
question, I hope you understand my question. Those
Yeah.
banks,
Okay.
especially in Nigeria, especially here in Kano,
Mm.
seriously, does your testers available there in this bank?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hisham Muhammad. That's great. Let me start by this. I've been privileged to work in the banking sector, and I'm actually revolving around the fintech sector, and I will tell you this: we had a similar issue in Ghana where the banks wanted to hire testers because we are migrating from one system to another system. That was where I came in as the manager and the test manager to help them set up the strategy on how to push up things and make it work. You know, unfortunately, most banks don't have the tech team in house. So they outsource their products to other company to work for them. And then when the companies are done, company ships them. So if there's a problem, they have to reach out to the other company to solve it before the company now gives them feedback. But most importantly, Hisham, what I think can do is you need to first of join a community to understand what software testing is. When you understand and begin to work on volunteer projects, right? You can take your bank app, do a thorough software test on your bank app, right? Test your bank app, write down your findings, okay? Go on LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn or Twitter, tag the banks and put at least 3 core issues you found in the bank. Tell them that you're a software tester, you've done this. You're able to use your bank, and these are the issues you found, and this, that you are open to communication with them. You have more. Go on Twitter, go on LinkedIn, type the same thing. Let them see your reasons. Let them see your importance. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I'm saying that, and that way you're relevant. Because now they'll see, when one person sees it, another person sees it, the third person, when people begin to see what you're doing, they'll see the importance of you being there. Like, you know what? Why don't we give everybody a chance? And tell them that you're open to conversations. They may either invite you to the bank to speak with the manager or whoever or the tech team there. And you tell them, listen, I want an opportunity to work here so I can do more of these things because of the product that are being shipped out there. It works. Sometimes it works. I've seen people report backs and then people say, oh, okay, then you have it. Some of them are lucky to even start working with that company or something. But it gives relevance. At least you've done something. So you can, try and do that. It mustn't be the bank do it, but then other companies that you think are in Canada may not even know what it is. So you can introduce them. Now you can even tell them what it is. Oh, you guys, your product is nice, but when I was doing a core testing on this, and this is what I do for a living, you can actually employ me to help you make sure that your system and we can able to find the threats or the issues that surround your system. That way they can say, okay, this guy is solid. We can bring him on board. But you need to understand. That's why I asked a question earlier. I said, you cannot learn how to read or write if you've not understood the alphabets. Hisham, I served in the north. I served in KB State in the year 2016. I was serving in KB State, and I learned a lot of Hausa there. And in my secondary school, I also learned a little of Hausa. So when I get there, I had learned the alphabet and I could speak a lot of Hausa there. But the question becomes, if I've never or had never understood the alphabet, I wouldn't have known how to even speak or read. So if you don't understand software testing and the core functionality of software testing, you may not understand how to go about these things. So I would want to reach out to SQA Marshal. He's actually building a solid team there. I'm sure he will take you through how to go about it, how to even take you about it, because now he's also a great mentor. He can mentor you guys, whoever wants to go into mentorship. You can also reach out to SQA Marshal to take you through how to go about this stuff, because he's been in the field and he's more closer to you. He's in Nigeria. I am in Ghana too, but he's actually more faster because he's in Ghana, he's in Nigeria, and he can also reach out to you. Does that make sense, Hisham? Okay, good stuff. Thank you, guys. I don't know any more questions before I hand over to SQ Marshal. EY. Do you have questions?
Questions,
guys.
Time to ask.
Now it's time to ask our questions.
Um, Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Kina, Sylvester, we really appreciate this opportunity to have you on board today. Is not taken for granted at all. This is very, very great. And I think this first time we're having somebody as passionate as you talking to us. Yes, we'll be having some webinars, but this is just so exceptional. Yeah, thank you very, very, very much for the privilege that we have. Yeah,
For the privilege
that we have to have you on board today. So that's again the power of relationship, right? So like you mentioned the other time, one of the things you need to do to stay relevant is to also build relationships, right? We wouldn't be able to have him on this call if that relationship is not there. So it's one of the things you need to do to know as well and to explore and stay relevant. Isham, it seems to have one question.
I think it was the previous one. It was his previous one. Your hand is still up, Isham. You can drop your hand. I don't think he asked question. That was the previous one he asked earlier. So.
Okay.
I think that is fine actually. So thank you very much once again, Mr. Ikena. And like you said, please let's screenshot that part of the slide. We can then share this on LinkedIn, and then we can tag him on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, his name is Ikena Sylvester Okafor. You can also tag SQA Marshal. So then, so we can connect with each other from LinkedIn. So before we round up this particular session, I want to share quickly with us something. I want to share with us something. Just hold on, let me bring up my screen. Right. One of the sites you can visit to get remote job abroad is where I am right now. The site is called Himalayas, right? .app. So if you get to this site, you can come here, you can do job search, let's say quality assurance, right? And you can come here and see any country you want, basically. So you can pick up any country, say United States, and let me do a search. So I just searched right now, and you can see jobs are coming up, quality assurance specialist, quality assurance. So one of the things you want to do, you can also put some testing, right, so that the search can actually bring out things that are relevant to your search, right? So this site, I bet, is one of the sites where you can get some remote jobs from your country, right? So another site, we have a lot of them. You can also make use of LinkedIn actually. So on LinkedIn, you go to your search, make sure you are using the word remote. You can type software testing, manual testing, test engineer, then use the word remote, then put the location, then it's going to bring up some jobs for you. Then you can apply from there. Then we also have another site. This one is called Remotive, right? Here too, you can just search for. In fact, I think one of the popular searches is QA right here. So once you search, you're going to be seeing different kind of jobs, right? It's listening here, Germany, UK, different kind of quality assurance jobs. And you can just click on any of them and then check when they were posted, and then you can also apply, right? So one of the things is you don't need to get tired in application. You see, this one was posted April 25. I think that was yesterday, right? So this is $1,500 to $2,000 per month. So you can actually do these things, make applications here. Then sometimes it will not come easily, but I tell you, people are getting jobs directly from Nigeria and working abroad. You know what that means in terms of pay here in Nigeria. So so these are part of the things I just want to show us today. SQA Marshal, right? So on this webinar. So once again, Mr. Ikena, I really want to appreciate time taking, right, to join us today. To take us through this wonderful session. We don't take it for granted again, and we hope to continue to connect with you. Every of our people from SQA Marshal continue to connect with you and every other person in the industry, and to the greater goal. Thank you very much, sir. So, I don't think, do you have any other word for us, Mr. Ikena, before we end this?
Just to say, just I mean, it's a privilege for me to speak here, and I appreciate the fact that we have young people growing into this space. For a long time, it's been neglected, and also I want to say for what you're doing, thank you for not relenting. The market needs people like you. The industry needs people like you who are taking it upon themselves to raise men. It takes a lot to give back to the community because you've been there and you have to struggle to find your own path, but you don't want others to be the same. So this is to me saying thank you for everyone who has been here. The team SQA Marshal working with you, I appreciate and say thank you. Hisham, you have another questions for me? Don't worry. So I'll give you time for that.
Yes, sorry, sir, for just a minute. My little question is on that previous remote work that has been introducing to us now.
Yes.
Is it for you or anyway? I can, as we are now. I mean, as we are new to network testers. So, are we going to apply for the job?
Yeah. Okay. So, he actually what AY did was to also give us a liberty to know that there is a possibility of we applying. There are remote testing jobs, but of course, you would need to know the rudiments. At what point we apply? It's not just applying; it's about getting the job. You need to also meet some criteria. It's like someone said, there's a job for teaching, but you're in primary school. Even though you can apply for the job, but that does not mean you get the job. So you need to get to a level whereby you know that your skill meets what they require from you. Every job have a requirement. So if you think you have what it takes to get or to apply for the job, let's say when you look at the job description and you think you know what you have what it takes, that way you can apply. Of course you can. Nobody's going to restrict you from applying, but just ensure that you have what it takes to apply and be able to meet up the speak when you're being interviewed for the job. You would know how to defend or also convince them that you're worthy for them to hire you and to work with or work for their company. Okay, so I think this is me saying thank you to the team and to those from Ghana joining. Adia, I see you. Thank you, Adia. Salam, I appreciate your support. Thank you for being here, and also to every one of you here. Sunny, I see you. That's a good one. It's been a long time I had a conversation. I'm glad to have you here. And Deborah, Ralph, Daniel, the rest of them. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here, and of course, keep doing what you're doing and keep being effective. I want to see your connections on LinkedIn. We'll be in touch, and if there's anything coming up, of course, I'll also discuss SQA. I'm hoping that one of these days when I'm in Nigeria, we'll have an in-person meetup, so I can also meet up the team. I'll be glad to meet up with the team somewhere in Nigeria. Back around that.
Okay. I think Deborah wants to ask a question.
Deborah, if you're speaking, you're muted. Hi, Deborah. If you're talking.
Okay, I guess that's probably mistake from us.
Okay.
So I think we have come to the end of today's webinar, and again next month. Last Saturday next month, we're going to be having another webinar. So, you want to tell your peer friends and your other colleagues that, it's happening at SQA Marshal Consult everywhere. Thank you very much, Mr. Ikena Sylvester. We do really appreciate your support and your presence. It's golden to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your endeavor.